covenant. All men and women created by you know the thing.
We will shut you down. We will cite you. And if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period.
I wasn't thinking of the Bill of Rights when we did this.
But no amendment to the Constitution is absolute.
God actually spoke to me. He spoke about sacredness. He said to me, Kim, what I place in many, many people is sacred. And if anybody touches what is sacred to me, then it is the end for them. So what I've done in the United States of America is sacred. And there are people on every side that are trying to destroy what I deem sacred. And it's not going to happen.
This is the definition of criminal conspiracy, racketeering, and collusion. This is not a theory. This is evidence.
Because I have upheld this country to spread a light to the rest of the world. When you choose to go against the sacred thing that God puts into the very heart and the soil of this nation, this was sacred to God.
Now is the time to act.
This is exactly why I need some action from my people.
All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're going to talk about the stuff behind the stuff. You see, a lot of times we have people in our lives that we cheer for, we root for, we vote for, we love that they represent our values, but do we really know who they are? So today we're going to kind of ask Lara Trump a bunch of questions that I hope that she hasn't been asked on a bunch of other shows. And then at any point, if she gongs me and says that's too personal, we'll know because she'll hang up. So without any further ado, Lara Trump, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah. Look, how personal are we getting? Wow. I didn't really
just want to ask
for
the
this.
stuff behind the stuff. So before you were a Trump, you went to high school.
I did.
What did you want to do in high school? What were you doing? Like, what were you aspiring to be?
Well, you know what? It's funny because high school, I mean, I didn't really know. I just felt like probably a lot of people, I just knew that I had to get good grades and be a good person. I anticipated that I would go to college, which I ultimately did. I went to North Carolina State University. And I actually remember really struggling my first year in college because I was undecided for a major because it felt, Clay, like such a big decision to make as a actually 17-year-old. I was 17 when I started college, not because I'm like super, super smart or anything. I was just like barely made the cutoff to get into kindergarten way back when. And so I was the youngest in my class, but I remember thinking, wow, this is a big decision. Like the rest of my life, I have to decide now. And I really struggle with it. I remember meeting with like a guidance counselor, whoever they had there on campus my freshman year of college, and saying like, I really don't know. Why do I make this decision now? I ultimately started on a pre-med path because I thought I wanted to do some sort of sports therapy. I was really into sports. I've been an athlete my whole life. And I thought, well, I kind of like to be around sports. I don't know that I'll ultimately be a professional athlete. So perhaps I will be an orthopedic surgeon who specializes in sports medicine. So I took like 3 years of pre-med prerequisite type classes. I'm great at chemistry, great at biology. Ask me how often I have had to use it these days. Would have never guessed that I'd be doing what I'm doing now.
Now you graduated high school, I believe 4 or 5 years ago. So, but it's in the past. But when you graduated, when you were in high school, looking back objectively, what sport were you the best at? Like, which one were you the best at? Which one were you really? It wasn't good.
Well, I was probably the best on like the running arena, whether it was track or cross country. I loved cheerleading though. And truth be told, so I've been a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader for so long. I even cheered in college, but I'm 5'11", and anyone who knows anything about cheerleading will tell you that most cheerleaders are like 5 feet tall, like 4'11", that sort of thing, because it actually helps like your center of gravity to be smaller and lower to the ground. So whenever you're tumbling, getting thrown in the air, all those sorts of things, it's a lot easier when you're not very long like I am. So I remember having to shorten like my back handsprings and all of my tumbling so that I would stay in line with all the other girls. And because of that, I had like stress fractures in my elbow. I had the bone spurs to show for it. So probably in retrospect, as much as I loved it, maybe it wasn't the best decision of my life.
Now you are married to Eric, and Eric has been he's been just hitting the gym. I mean, this guy,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
starting to look more like Rambo every time. I'm worried now, but backstage when I see him
Don't
at the
tell him
Reawaken.
that.
But he told me, I said, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What is happening to you? And he said, well, my wife's got me doing these workouts. I'm doing the workouts. I'm feeling the flow. And I said, are you killing the cardio? He goes, no. She does cardio
No.
for both of us. Is this true? Do you do cardio for both you and Eric?
And I transfer it directly to him, Clay. That's how it works. I wish I could. For years, I told Eric, I was like, look, I wish I could work out for both of us, because believe me, I would, but that's not how it works. If you want results, you got to put in the time at the gym. And the interesting thing is, I think people who really get into fitness and working out will tell you the truth. And the truth is that the best thing you can possibly do for your body is actually weightlifting. I actually do a lot of weightlifting as well, but I love doing things like triathlons, which is swim, bike, and run. It's like a competition because I'm one of these crazy people. And so because of that, I have to maintain a certain level of cardiovascular fitness. So I do run a lot. I do bike a lot. I do swim a lot. So yes, I do it, I guess, for both of us, because Eric Trump does none of it. He's only hitting the weights when he goes to the gym.
Okay. So now that we've established, I think that you're a sane person. One of the things I discovered when I was at the President Trump rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, seems like forever ago, but it was right during the lockdown craziness, and President Trump hosted a rally, and I had a press pass, and I'm there, and everyone in my area was going, is that Eric's wife? Is that Laura? What is she? Because, we're kind of getting to know you and who you are and how you relate to the family and everyone. And so when did that whole became a Trump thing happen? What year did you guys first get married? And this is all pre-political. What was it like becoming a Trump pre-political?
Well, I mean, Eric and I met in 2008. And I mean, that was well before any of this stuff started. Obviously, we got married in 2014. He really wanted to make sure, by the way, that I was the right one and he wasn't making a mistake. You can see the time frame there, like 6 years plus. Yeah, that we knew each other before we got married. But he and I had, I would say, a pretty normal life together prior to politics. I mean, the last name Trump obviously carries some weight in a city like New York, which is where we lived for a long time. But the interesting thing is how positively we were viewed and how positively we were received pretty much anywhere we went. And we're talking like the liberal bastion of New York City. I mean, this is the heart of it all, save for San Francisco, which is on another level. And I don't even know what you call them out there at this point. But we were very positively received really anywhere we went. If anyone knew who we were, and I don't know how many people really knew who we were, but when you make a reservation, they see the last name, they're like, oh, there was a change though, after we got involved in politics, after, of course, the famous Golden Escalator ride my father-in-law Melania took, things quickly changed. And it was a bit of a shock. And I don't know that anything could have prepared us for that. I don't think we anticipated how different it would be and how differently we would ultimately be treated, because that probably is the stark contrast that I recall from it all happening.
Now, my final question I have on this segment of interrogation before Ms. Claire begins to interrogate you is, you at some point, I mean, you didn't decide to run for president. Donald J. Trump decided to run for president. At a certain point, I mean, he had to gather you guys or tell you, hey, I'm running for president, or what was that like? Did he give you guys a call? Did you meet in a room? Did he send you an email? Was it a Facebook and he tagged you? I mean, how did you know, he's doing this?
Well, we actually all got together for his birthday. It's the most appropriate birthday possible. My father-in-law's birthday is Flag Day of all days, and no one loves the American flag, we all know, more than Donald Trump. So we all got together. It was a couple days before his birthday in 2015. And I mean, we kind of allude to it here and there. You'd hear him talk about it. But I don't know that any of us knew that it was as imminent as it became. So we're talking like June 12th or something of 2015. We all got together for his birthday at the Bedminster Golf Course and had dinner. And it was at that dinner that he said, 3 days from now, or whatever it ultimately was, I'm going to announce that I'm running for president. And I want to know what you guys all think about it, because they're going to come after us. We will figure out very quickly who our friends are and who are not our friends. We are going to be possibly looked at differently. And I want to make sure you guys are all aware of what is about to happen. And truthfully, none of us had ever really been involved in politics. I mean, I voted, but if I'm being honest, I really didn't know the ins and outs of all of it. And I didn't appreciate at that time how it would be if my father-in-law announced he was running for president as a Republican. And obviously he anticipated the backlash. Obviously he anticipated, I think more so than anything, what he ultimately it would take to expose all of the nefarious things that were going on, to really expose the swamp and all of it. Because I think from the beginning, that was part of what he knew he had to do if he succeeded. And we obviously were all like, yeah, no problem. Let's do this. Great. And I don't know how many of us really believed that there was going to be this groundswell of support that we obviously saw very quickly form behind him. So there in that moment, we were all like, great, like, let's do this. This will be a fun day. That'll be a fun thing. Obviously, we had no idea what was
Were you at a
happen.
circular table when he announced this? Like, was he standing up and he's like, banging on the glass a little bit, like, excuse me, everybody,
No.
I'll be running. I mean, was it like a?
It was a rectangular table. He was sitting in the middle.
Yeah.
And, since it was his birthday, but the whole family was there. We were all, within the area there. But he was in the middle, and it was a bit of a moment where, it's your birthday. Maybe you want to make a speech. And instead of making a speech, he was like, let's run for president.
And when he throws that out, was anybody at the table going, oh, snap, or, oh, no, or was there like, everyone, was it suspended? Like,
I think everybody knew that we would probably end up in that space at some point. And no one had anything negative. No one said we shouldn't do this. This is something you should wait on. Everybody kind of was like, look, if this is something you want to do right now, we're here to support you. And I mean, there are a lot of things that people can say about our family. Never has our family once broken from that moment. I think there's one thing people notice, it's that we all stick together. We all, from that very beginning moment, we all said, we're in this together with you. And we've been there every step of the way with him. And I don't think any of us would change that for anything in the world.
Folks, breaking news. You're not hearing that anywhere else. It wasn't a circular table. It was a rectangular table. Wow. Okay. So Julie Wolslayer, feel free to peel back the onion even more there. I went to a dark place asking about the table shape.
You got really deep there.
Okay. Well, just first, hello, Lara, fellow mom and patriot. And I just admire the work that you've done with your father. It's incredible to watch you and your family just stick together and fight through some really hard things. So you're an inspiration to me and a lot of moms out there. So I want to back. Well, yeah, I'm glad I got the opportunity to say that. And I also loved your speech at Reawaken Tour. It was very inspiring. And I want to back up to the whole workout routine and lifestyle medicine. I'm really into lifestyle medicine, and my friend, you'll get to meet her later, but we started a podcast, and one of our topics is lifestyle medicine and talking to moms and trying to find that balance. And I know that's important to you. You've been an athlete. So how do you fit these workouts in? And can you give us maybe a little more specifics about exactly like what a weight workout looks like for you, and also your diet, and also sleeping? How do you fit sleep in? And managing, stress, because I know as moms, and you are, you're doing a lot of things. You're a mom, you're working on a campaign, you've got a podcast, you are a wife, and a lot of us have similar lives. So there you go.
Wow. Well, there's a lot there. I'll tell you what today looked like for me, because I woke up at like 5:30 this morning. Now I know Clay had been up for several hours at that point. So I understand that's
why I look like Yoda, because I wake up at 3. Okay.
And I mean, honestly, I probably slept 5 hours last night, which is not great. Maybe 5.5. But so I could probably do with a lot more sleep. Actually, if you talk to any expert out there in fitness or in anti-aging or anything like that, keeping yourself youthful for as long as possible, they'll tell you sleep is very important. So I should do better on that. But I'm probably like a lot of moms out there. I feel like whenever everyone else is asleep or in bed or occupied, that's when I can like get everything done that I need to do for the next day. And so then I maybe get like a 20-minute period of time at the end of that to decompress myself. And I need that. So sometimes it's at like 11:30 at night. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to turn on this nonsense, this mindless garbage show for 15 minutes and just zone out. So I do that. This morning I woke up early. I got on the Peloton for like an hour actually before my kids woke up. And I say before very loosely because my son, of course, 5 minutes after I got on there, came downstairs and I'm like, oh, great. So I was like, go play with the Legos. And then I have my kids all day. No, I didn't have anyone here to help me. And I still wanted to get in a little bit of a weight workout. So we have a gym here. I'm at a golf club. We have a gym here on property. Walked up with the kids and I took them up to the gym with me because there were no other people in the gym. I felt comfortable enough that I was like, you guys just kind of like play around here. Don't hurt yourselves. And so I did legs. I did deadlifts and I'm talking like heavy weight. I'm trying to think what I use. I probably was deadlifting, I don't know, 140 pounds, several sets of that. Lunges with weight. I used 25-pound dumbbells, did 3 sets of lunges, leg press. And again, all of this is heavy weight. And I think there's a misconception, especially with women, that if you lift heavy weights, you're going to bulk up. You're going to look like a man. We don't have the same body chemistry as men. And unless you are injecting yourself with some sort of a male hormone, and I know there's a lot of that going on out there for various reasons these days, but unless you're doing that, you're not going to end up looking like a man. You will get toned. And actually, the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you burn per day versus fat on your body. So it is actually an overall great thing. You're burning more calories, even while you're doing nothing when you have more muscle on your body. And I wanted to fit in a couple more things. I did some ab stuff in between there, but then my kids got restless and then we had to go.
Does Eric leave any of the weights for you or does he take all of them? Because I understand he's really bulking up. I mean, does he leave any weights for you or?
He leaves a few for me. Yeah. He's getting I'm very proud of him. I will say Eric and I have obviously been together for 15 years. We've known each other for a long time. And in that time, I've been the athletic one. I've been the one that always works out. And he used to make fun of me for it a little bit. And I knew, I was like, Eric is one of these people. He either does something 0% or 100%. And if he's in it, he's fully in it. And I knew he'd get it one day. And here we are. And it's wonderful. I'm reaping the benefits. You know what I mean?
I noticed that, Laura, I knew he was changing when he started talking to me. He says, we got to pump it up. We got to pump. And I'm like, your sounds weird with your voice. We got to pump it. You're waking up. And I'm going, what? He's like, we got to pocket the end. I'm just like, their voice is changing. I can tell something's going on.
It happens.
What other question do you have or questions do you have for Laura here?
You know, just for the moms out there, I know you are so beautiful. Do you have any beauty tips? Like, do you have a favorite line of cosmetics, something for your hair? What is your, your must-haves?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I wish I would have listened to my mom a long time ago. He used to tell me to put sunscreen on. I mean, first and foremost, like anyone who's under the age of 30 out there, use some sunscreen. And I love the sun. It's obviously, it feels good. Everyone loves the tan. I now do a lot of spray tans because I feel that's better for me than the UV rays that'll ultimately, make you look older and give you skin cancer. But I did a lot of I did tanning beds. I did all that stuff in the day. So use sunscreen would be my first rule of thumb for people out there. And I'm sure a lot of women already do that. For me, I think that it's funny whenever we get all of the information out there that's sent our way via advertising, there's a lot of expensive items you could buy. There are a lot of things that are suggested for you to use. And I've probably tried all of them. Organic body essentials is something that I found recently. We eat organic, you pay extra money at the grocery store to eat organic food. And yet on our bodies, we're putting God knows what on us, what chemicals and all kinds of stuff. And it's been great to find an organic skincare line that I feel good about putting on my skin. I know that what I'm putting on my skin is something you could find in nature anyway. And so that's something that I've been using a lot of recently. And I've been loving the results. I mean, you could tell me how it's doing, but for me, that's been my recent find along with the sunscreen. So shout out to my mom like 30 years ago who tried to get me on this path.
Now, I'm going to bring in Miriam for a second if I can, and I'm going to continue interrogating Laura. Now, Laura, President Trump, the first time you met him, what was that like? I've only had the opportunity to meet President Trump on 2 occasions, but everybody I know who knows him well says he's just hilarious.
Yes.
Everybody has a good story. Sometimes you meet people that are celebrities and you go, I wish I wouldn't have met them. But he's the opposite of that. People love him who didn't previously like him. But what was your first meeting like, meeting President Trump?
Well, anyone who's met my husband, who sometimes underinforms you about a situation, will appreciate this. I didn't know the day that I met my father-in-law that I was actually going to meet him. Eric and I had been dating for, I don't know, 2 months or something at this point. And it was the US Open tennis tournament, of course, in Queens, New York at the time. I believe this was in September of 2008. And Eric asked me if I would like to go watch tennis with him. And of course, I was like, yeah, great. He said, I'll pick you up at your apartment. And so he came and picked me up. And in my mind, because of the background that I have as a very normal person in America, I thought we're going to go watch tennis. We're going to get a seat like in the stands. So I'm wearing like sandals and just like, it was an okay outfit. It wasn't great, but it was fine. Good for sitting in the stands to watch tennis. Sure enough, we get there and we're not headed towards like the stands. We're headed towards the boxes. And I was like, oh, where are we going? And Eric's like, oh yeah, we've had a box here for years or something. And I was like, oh, like didn't know about all that. It's a whole different arena for me. And then we open the door and there is Donald Trump. There's my boyfriend's father, who also, a television star, business mogul, all of these things. And I'm like, you didn't tell me your dad was going to be here. Of course, Melania's there too, who I might as well just put a paper bag over my head at that point. I'm like, oh, Melania, she's gorgeous. And actually, in retrospect, and I don't want to give Eric too much credit, it probably was a good thing, because had I known that his dad was going to be there, I probably would have gotten all worked up. I certainly would have worn a different outfit for sure. But then he was there in that moment. And I said, oh my gosh, what did I do? So Eric introduced us and I was very nervous and not sure what to say. And in only the way Donald Trump can do, he goes, you know what? I'm going to get an ice cream. Do you like ice cream? Would you like an ice cream? And I was like, oh, ice cream. Like, he likes ice cream. We could get down on this ice cream and we're both the same then. We like it together. And then we sat down and he got me an ice cream. We sat and we had a nice conversation over an ice cream. I believe it was a Nutty Buddy, if I recall. And that just totally put me at ease. And I was like, oh, he's a normal person. He's just like you and me. And he's just, he eats ice cream. And we all know that Donald Trump likes 2 scoops of ice cream. So
is this a
I
Trump
found out
thing?
then.
Is this a Trump thing? Because when I met Don Jr., he'd spoken at one of our events, but when I met him and connected at your birthday, he says to me, do you want an ice cream? And I'm like, what? And typically adult males don't say to
that's all they
male.
know.
And
they were all taught very early on.
Sure.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I don't know what the story is, but that's when we first met. And I have to tell you, from that point on, my father-in-law treated me with nothing but kindness and welcomed me into the family. And truthfully, I just came from a normal family in North Carolina. As far as I was concerned, I had no business being in a box at the US Open with the Trump family at that point. And it really kind of showed me, before any of this political, that he really is a good person. He really does care about people. He really wanted to get to know me. And he was really kind to offer me an ice cream, and it was delicious.
Well, now in our final 7 minutes of interrogation here, I've got one final question. I'll go to Miriam here. So at a certain point, President Trump is president, and you're trying to be a mom. You're trying to go work out. You're trying to be a mom, be a wife. Do what you do, and now everyone's got an opinion. I don't know how often people share that opinion with you, but I mean, now, you're going to the grocery store and everyone's got an opinion. I'd just like to know, what's it like trying to be a sane mother / wife / American, whatever that is? What's that like, being a Trump now?
Depends where you are. I currently am in New York. We came up here for the summer. My kids just got out of school for the summer. So we have a house just outside of the city, and that's where we are now. And up here, it might be a little bit different. Now in Florida, it's a very positive experience. There's a ton of support in Florida. Obviously, we know Florida is very red, and people honestly come up and say the kindest things to me. And they tell me that they're praying for our family and my father-in-law and our country. And I mean, nothing means more to us than that, because quite frankly, we've been put through a lot. And to hear people say positive things in any moment is always very nice. So we do appreciate that very much. Typically, I think people who might have a negative feeling about us generally stay quiet. I might get some scowls, or if Eric and I go out to dinner, some of that sort of stuff. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen that in a long time, and I have to hope that that is because a lot of people are waking up in America, and maybe they're figuring out that the story they've been told about Donald Trump and our entire party as a Republican Party maybe was a bit of a lie, and they remember the good old days not too long ago when things felt very different in this country.
Yeah.
And what was the common denominator there? It was Donald Trump. So, I mean, I'll report back. I'll probably go somewhere later and somebody will be like, you're terrible. But normally people are okay and don't really harass us too much.
And I'll say this before I turn over to Miriam here. Eric, comes to the Reawakened America Tour events, and he flies on a commercial plane. And so I've had at least, I don't even know, dozens of people who said, I sat next to him on the plane. It was awesome. I go, what happened? They go, he was normal and it was awesome. And he was on the plane. He wasn't a diva. And I'm going, really? Yeah. And then I went to the same store and I bought some. I didn't want him to think I was following him, but I wanted to see where he would buy his water. And he bought a water at the same place I bought a water, and he was nice. And it was, and I'm like, what happened on the plane? They go, on the plane, people started cheering. They started doing the Trump chant. They started singing God Bless America. Yeah. And this is on a commercial flight. We're not polling people. And I asked these people, anything negative happened? They go, no, everyone on every plane loves the Trumps. So I agree that more people are waking up, and I'm glad to see that's happening. Miriam Shaw, what questions do you have for Lara Trump?
Well, first of all, I want to echo what Julie said. Thank you so much. I know that it's not easy to have that last name. I think it's an honor, but also it's a badge of honor because you've had to go through so much. And so I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for standing strong. Secondly, I want to know what you all do in your family for fun other than eating ice cream.
Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you for saying that. So honestly, one of our favorite things to do, we did last night, Eric and I took the kids, like I said, we're here on a golf course. We took the kids up, and I while we were eating dinner, let the kids just like run around the golf course. They brought their little what's it called, a balance bike up. They're riding around on that. I mean, they're being kids running around doing that stuff. And nothing makes us happier than just experiences like that as a family. I mean, it's very normal stuff. My kids are very active though. So whenever we go do things together as a family, it's typically something that involves a playground or swimming or something like that. We're constantly moving. When we're in Florida, they love going to the beach. They love going out on a boat, getting in the ocean, all those sorts of things. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm into working out and stuff. And I think one of the things we're probably all going to end up doing as a family will ultimately be playing golf, which is kind of crazy. I'm probably like the worst golfer of the bunch, but both of my kids are really into golfing. They love it. They love taking golf lessons and going out. Eric takes them all the time. Just the three of them. Mom's not allowed in those times. And I'm really broken up about it. I'm just kidding. I'm like, really? You guys want to go for 20 minutes on the golf course? Great. So hopefully we can all do that as a family.
How old are your kids? I forget.
Oh, they're 3 and 5.
And they're golfing at 3 and 5.
I mean, I'm using it kind of loosely for my daughter who's 3. But my son is actually a pretty decent golfer. Maybe it runs in the family. I don't really know. Yeah.
Now, Lara,
we
we have
getting there.
I want to interrogate you with 2 final questions here. One for Miriam, then one for me. Miriam, again, we're trying to peel it back. We know that the announcement was made at a table that was not circular. I know that helped a lot of people. We know how she structures her day. We know that they're sane people, they're sane people. What question do you have for Lara?
My final question is, what made you start your podcast? I think it's amazing. I love that you're doing it. And I know you don't need another job. You're plenty busy with everything. So I was just wondering what made you do that.
Thank you. Well, it's fun. Kind of a funny story. So when my father-in-law was elected in 2016, obviously the typical way things work is that a campaign sort of shuts down. And then when the president decides to run for re-election, say 2 years or so into his first term in office, then everything ramps back up and the campaign starts again and you start campaigning and all of that. My father-in-law, being the unlikely and not typical politician that he is, decided we don't want to shut this thing down. We want to keep it going. So after the inauguration, he actually asked me, along with just a handful, I think there were like 6 of us, of people, to continue working at the campaign and continue running the campaign. He wanted to do rallies. He wanted to be able to support any sort of Republican candidates across the country in any way possible. For, because there are elections all the time in different areas. And so I was there at the campaign, and we realized, like halfway through 2017, we were like, this is so frustrating because there's a lot that is going on and a lot of good that's being done by this administration. And yet we're not hearing any of it out there in the media. Big shocker, right? But, this was all kind of new to us. And so we said, why don't we start doing a weekly show where we just talk about the accomplishments within the Trump administration? So we called it The Real News, because obviously there's so much fake news out there. So it was The Real News, and we did that once a week, and it sort of maintained itself for about a year or so. And then we said, who's terrible? The View. Why don't we start a show that's different than The View? We'll bring people on. We'll have a panel of guests, and we'll call it The Right View. You see what we did there. And so it started during the campaign, and I started hosting it, and I would have various women, various people on from all different walks of life, people impacted by the Trump administration positively, candidates for different offices. And so it started that way. And then 2020 rolled around, and obviously the election happened in a way maybe we were not too pleased with, obviously. And I said, well, maybe I should stop doing this, but I don't really want to, because I feel like we are getting information out there to people. Right. And there's a lot we still need to talk about. So I continued it myself, and here we are today in 2023.
Well, Laura, my final question here. I'm going to pull up your website real quick so people can see this here. I'm going to pull it up. 1 second. Here we go. Pulling it up. Here it is. This is therightview.com. If you haven't listened to Laura's podcast, folks, I'm going to ask you for a favor. Listen to at least 2 shows. Okay. 2 shows. Just find your favorite. Laura, if someone's going to do a kind of get into all things The Right View for the first time, is there a particular show? I'm going to go to rumble.com. Or is there a particular shows where you go, this is a good snack pack? Like a place to start the conversation. Is there a particular show that you'd say, hey, go listen to this one or that one?
Well, so I do several different types of shows. Once a week, I do something called Ladies Tea, where we talk about all of the major happenings in our country and in our world for that week. That's a good one. That one comes out at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays at 8 p.m., we put out what is called Lara Trump Wanted for Questioning. So people can send in their questions. I answer anything, and they don't give the questions to me ahead of time. So you're getting my spontaneous answers right there in the moment, and it'll give you more information. You can get more interrogation material there, Clay, if you want. So it's a good packaging of all different things. I would recommend those 2, maybe as your first 2 watches, and then I hope you'll stick with us, therightview.com.
Laura, your President Trump impersonation is pretty. I don't know if you practice that. That might be your next career, the Trump impersonator. That's pretty good right there. I want to ask, this is my final question. I have a sheet of paper where I have people on my sheet of paper. It's right by my desk back here, where I have certain people that I pray for. And you and Eric are on that list. And so I try to start every day by praying for you guys, because I know that you guys are the tip of the spear. And a lot of our listeners are feeling like, what can I pray for? So what can our listeners be praying for you guys? Because I do believe in prayer. Most of our listeners believe in Jesus. They pray every day. What can they be praying for? How can they be praying for you?
Well, I think overall we should pray for the wisdom of our leaders. And even if it's people with whom you disagree, we want this country to be led the right way. We want the right things to happen here in America. I think we should be praying for a great outcome in 2024, that the elections are fair in 2024, because, if people don't have confidence in our elections, and quite frankly, we don't have a country. And really, just for the future of America, we are so blessed to live in the greatest country we have ever known in this world. And it's the United States of America. There's a reason people literally give up their lives to come here. And it's because we are the best, the brightest. We have nothing but success in our future, and we want to keep it that way. So I would pray for the future of this country, fair elections in 2024, and the wisdom of our leaders right now. I think that we could all use a little more of that.
Well, that's what we're going to pray for. And thank you for not Hunter Bidening. That's a verb. Hunter Bidening.
Oh.
Thank you for not Hunter Bidening. Thank you for being
gosh.
upstanding American. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a great mom, great wife, great patriot. It's just awesome to get to know you. Thank you again for carving out time for us. Have fun with the kids on the golf course.
Oh, we will. Thank you so much.
Take care, Laura. Bye-bye.
If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war. Our currency is what makes us powerful and strong. And China's taken over. And China, you know, I heard a couple of people say, well, the dollar will never lose the dollar standard. Are they kidding? China wants to change the standard, the currency standard. And if that happens, that's like losing a world war. We'll be a second-tier country. We'll literally be a second-tier country if that happens. Now, you're losing Brazil. You're losing Colombia, South America. You're losing Iran. You've lost it. You've lost Russia. And if you haven't lost them yet, you're going to lose them. China's on the yuan, so China's gone. Then you see France going over. No, what's going on? We're losing. If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war.
In the end, the ultimate objective is to essentially wipe all of the banks out so that your bank will be the Federal Reserve. Sean, this is really a move toward a CCP-style social credit system.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points.
Now the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have announced plans to develop a new currency.
Together, we'll be ready to launch the FedNow service between May and July of 2023.
A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability.
COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
And one way to protect your money is by investing in precious metals. When you go to bh-pm.com, use promo code Trump.
Psst, ladies and gentlemen, this just in. We'll keep this a little secret between you and me and them and everybody. Whoa. The people that are actually at the tip of the spear, working directly with President Trump on a day-to-day basis to save this nation, they're all joining us on the Reawaken America tour. We have President Donald J. Trump's Chief of Staff, Kash Patel. We've got Peter Navarro's joined us on the tour. We have General Michael Flynn. We have Eric Trump. The people actually working at the tip of the spear with President Donald J. Trump to save America are joining us on the Reawaken America tour. Whoa. If word of this gets out, if the truth about election fraud, medical fraud, religious fraud, monetary fraud, and mainstream media gets out, it may just save the nation.
You can't make this up.
Now, we're taking the God-fearing, revival-starting Reawaken America tour into Sin City. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking the God-fearing Reawaken America tour to Las Vegas, Nevada on August 25th and 26th. General Flynn and Team America will be taking the Reawaken America tour to Las Vegas, Nevada. And the Patriots will be staying together at Trump International Hotel, Las Vegas, located at 2000 Fashion Show Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, with zip code 89109 if you want to send them a letter. And yes, Alex Jones will be live and in person at the Reawaken America Tour, Las Vegas, Nevada. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, put it on your calendar. Get those tickets right now. August 25th and 26th. Eric Trump, Dr. Peter McCullough, Mel K, Dr. Stella Emanuel, Owen Schroyer, Alex Jones, Seth Holhouse, Pastor Mark Burns, Pastor Leon Benjamin. We're all taking the Reawaken America Tour to Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen. Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's going to be August 25th and 26th. Thus far on the Reawaken America Tour, we've featured Dr. Dave Martin, the late, great Dr. Vladimir Zelenko, Charlie Kirk, Donna Clement Petruska, Sean Foyt, Karen Kingston, Chad Prather, Julie Green, Dr. Alan Keyes, Mickey Willis, Roger Stone, Dr. Richard Bartlett, and hundreds of patriotic speakers that you know, including Pastor Leon Benjamin, Thomas Renz, Sidney Powell, Jim Caviezel, Donald J. Trump Jr., Peter Navarro, Klaus Schwab, Yuval Noah Harari, Bill Gates, and the godless globalists have their annual meeting called the World Economic Forum at Davos. But we that reject the Great Reset have the Reawaken America Tour coming to Las Vegas, Nevada. Get those tickets at time2freeamerica.com. That's time2freeamerica.com. We have scholarship pricing to make these events affordable for everybody. Every Reawaken America Tour event has sold out, so request those tickets today at time2freeamerica.com. That's time2freeamerica.com. Or for faster service, you can send me a personal text to 918-851-0102. That's 918-851-0102. And to be bilingually sensitive, that's 918-851-0102. So many people always ask, what can I do to help fight back to save this nation? Jordan, you meet people at the Reawaken America Tour. Are people looking for ways to get involved?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And so one thing I would encourage everybody to do, if you're out there today and you're saying, I want to get involved, I want to support the Reawaken America Tour, what can I do? One thing you can do is if you will go to mypillow.com and buy anything at all. I mean, you can buy whatever you want to buy. You don't have to buy my recommendations. And frankly, I don't buy a lot of domestic products. I mean, my wife, buys sheets and towels and all these sorts of things. I don't do that. I think the last time I bought a towel was the last time I did a MyPillow commercial. But I would say, if you want to support the Reawaken America Tour, you just go up here to mypillow.com and use promo code CLAY. So that's promo code CLAY, C-L-A-Y, and buy anything using promo code CLAY. And that does two things. One, it supports Mike Lindell and the great work he's doing to expose election fraud. And two, it helps the Reawaken America Tour, because right now, if you go to time2freeamerica.com, you can see I'm still involved in this ongoing litigation where the former head of security and strategy for Dominion, Eric Coomer, he actually is coming after me personally and the tour for defamation. The idea is that he believes that the Reawaken America Tour has hurt his reputation. Now, this is the same Eric Coomer who ran a moving vehicle into a parked building during the middle of the day while intoxicated.
Wow.
One of the bed and breakfasts, Plum Street Inn or something like that, and took off on foot. I'm gonna have 8 go over there and secure the vehicle.
Holy crap.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you Eric?
Yeah.
So, were you driving your truck?
No, I've been here putting the order away.
Okay. Who was driving your truck?
I don't know.
Okay, so where is your truck?
It's 2 blocks down on the right.
Okay, and you just parked it there?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had anything to drink since you got here?
Yeah. Had a couple shots with the cook.
Okay. Do you mind if we step out back and talk for a
Yeah.
second? Yeah. So, walk me through your route to get from where you parked there.
Came from my house, came down. I live up on the mesa.
Okay.
So I came down side route, came down Sackett, parked over there.
Okay. So what happened in between there?
Okay, I'm gonna come around to the front.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. So you didn't hit a building?
No.
Okay. Unfortunately, I have your truck with damage on it.
Okay.
Matching damage to a building down there.
Okay.
And witnesses saying the guy in blue plaid got out of the truck and came back here.
Okay.
So you're saying that wasn't you?
No.
Okay. You understand why that's hard to believe?
Understood.
But you were the only person driving your vehicle?
As far as I know.
Okay. And you parked it 2 blocks up on
I
the
did.
street there? Okay.
So at this point,
4x4 pickup truck.
we're at Fort Hill Road. This officer can take you to jail. We're going to charge you with felony misinformation along with all the traffic stuff.
Okay.
Or you can cut the nonsense. He cuts your ticket for the crash, and we move on with life. It seems goofy to me to jam yourself up to more charges when you obviously responsible for this thing is property damage. but it doesn't make any sense to me.
Understood.
So,
like you said, we're at a fork in the road. The choice is yours.
Understood. You can talk to my attorney.
Okay. Go ahead and turn around. Put your phone back for me.
Yep.
He was being filmed on body cam, and he lied to police about what happened. If you're saying, well, what can I do to support right now? One thing you could do, and I mean this, folks, if you go to timetofreeamerica.com and you can click on the button here that says donate to support Clay Clark's fight against Eric Coomer's lawsuit, that would be great because the legal fees, the ongoing legal fees for this lawsuit are almost $3,000 a day. So if you could donate anything, I mean, we just had somebody donate 11 hours ago, $20. Someone donated $100. Any amount at all would be absolutely helpful. All that money goes to just fight against that lawsuit with Eric Coomer, who's coming after myself, Mike Lindell, and other patriots. And then the second thing you could do is if you go to mypillow.com and you want to buy anything at all. Jordan, it's never too early to buy your Christmas presents, right?
No, it's never too early.
What's the earliest you bought your Christmas presents? Like, what's the earliest in advance that you purchased your Christmas presents?
January.
Of the year. So January after December, you bought it almost a full year in advance?
Yep.
Yeah, so I encourage everybody, just go to mypillow.com, use promo code Clay, and buy anything. And that is an absolutely great way to support the tour. I'm very appreciative for everybody who's showing up at the Reawaken America tour. But again, for anybody who says, Clay, how can I help the tour? How can I help you guys? Again, go to mypillow.com, use promo code Clay, and buy anything at all that helps support Mike Lindell and the tour. Also, if you could donate anything at all to support in our ongoing litigation versus Eric Coomer, the former head of security and strategy for Dominion, who believes that the Reawaken America tour is defaming him. Apparently, a lot of people don't want you to know about election fraud.
In 2007, 25 banks, they had to be bailed out, including Washington Mutual, the single largest bank failure in history, total of $526 billion, and that was over 12 months. In the last 5 weeks, we have had 3 U.S. banks fail, and we're already over the 2007 total by $6 billion.
It's important that people understand they can be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institution. But they're going to be.
I want people to go read Executive Order 14067. Executive Order 14067, signed by Uncle Joe, the 8th of March of 2022, and it went into effect 13 December 2022.
COVID it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
CBDC. If that happens, we're done.
The old systems of trust and of ownership will have to adapt radically.
China's taken over, and China, I heard a couple of people say, well, the dollar will never lose the dollar standard. Are they kidding?
Now the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have announced plans to develop a new currency.
My name is General Mike Flynn, and I want everyone to know that I stand fully behind Beverly Hills Precious Metals and its owner, Andrew Sorcini, a great friend of mine. We are facing one of the greatest periods of financial uncertainty in American history. And now is the time to organize your finances, seriously consider how you can take care of yourself and your family, and start making some serious decisions. So visit gold.generalflynn.com. That's gold.generalflynn.com today. Tell them that the General sent you. Thank you so much, and God bless America.
Now, if you're looking to purchase Reawaken America t-shirts or books, or if you want to learn about any of the books I've written in the past about how to grow a successful company, simply go to timetofreeamerica.com and then click on the Shop Now button. Once again, go to timetofreeamerica.com and click on the Shop Now button. And once you go there to timetofreeamerica.com and you click on the Shop Now button, you're going to find apparel, books and a variety of Reawaken America Tour swag, personally autographed books by myself. And you can find all of this gear today, right now, by going to timetofreeamerica.com and clicking on the Shop Now button. Once you click on the Shop Now button, you're going to find personally autographed apparel. So if you click there, you can get a Reawaken America Tour t-shirt, a Jesus is King t-shirt, a Reawaken America Tour hoodie. Or if you go back here and you click on the personally autographed books, you can see any one of the books I've written over the years, including A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich, The Homo Deus, The Godless Globalist Great Reset Plan Exposed in Their Own Words, and The Great Reset versus The Great Reawakening, and many other books that I've written over the years. You can find all of that by going to timetofreeamerica.com and clicking on the Shop Now button. Previous to the Reawaken America Tour, and when I'm not organizing the Reawaken America Tour, I grow businesses. That's what I do. I grew up poor and figured out how to not be poor at a very young age. And since that time, I start businesses and I grow companies. And I have a business conference that I host every 2 months that I've hosted since 2005. And I have a business growth program or a business growth system that I coach clients through. So now, without any further ado, here's a quick overview of what I do to make businesses grow.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Morrow. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you are looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house.
with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, and we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you spend a day or two with us to make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopk9.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top K9 is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top K9 through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top K9. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top K9. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top K9 is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.
Moms on a Mission's excited to partner with our friends at MyPillow. According to sleep experts and sleephealth.org, over 50 million Americans struggle to get a good night's rest. That's where MyPillow comes in. They make the best pillows, sheets, mattresses, and mattress toppers. Several years ago, I was having trouble falling and staying asleep due to neck and shoulder pain. Luckily, I heard an ad about MyPillow and decided to give it a try. After 3 or 4 days, I really began to feel a difference. I was sleeping better and my neck and shoulders felt so much better. MyPillow really does help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Moms on a Mission wants you to get a great night's rest too. Go to mypillow.com right now and use the promo code MISSION for up to 66% off your purchase. MyPillow products are made in America and have a 60-day money-back guarantee and lifetime warranty. Remember, go to mypillow.com, put in the special code MISSION for your special Moms on a Mission discount. Thank you and God bless.
Hey guys, it's Moms on a Mission here. Are you worried about your financial stability and protecting the money for which you work so hard? The problem is stock market volatility and inflation. You may be wondering what you can do to preserve your family's wealth. We at Moms on a Mission encourage you to reach out to our friend Andrew Sorcini with Beverly Hills Precious Metals. Andrew is the expert in educating you to help you find the right balance of gold and silver for your family portfolio. He made it so easy for me to add precious metals to my financial investments. I simply mailed a check to Beverly Hills Precious Metals and my silver showed up on my doorstep a few days later. It was so easy. Go to bh-pm.com to save a little money and tell them that Moms on a Mission sent you. That's bh-pm.com. Don't wait. Protect your wealth today by going to bh-pm.com and tell them that Moms on a Mission sent you. Hi everybody, it's Moms on a Mission here. Recent research from the CDC says that millions of Americans develop parasitic infections and symptoms often go unnoticed or are misdiagnosed.
Parasites are the cause of many health problems, such as anxiety, depression, chronic pain, fatigue, and unexplained digestive issues. We all need a common sense strategy to improve our health.
We at Moms on a Mission encourage you to reach out to our good friend, Dr. Jason Dean. Dr. Dean's Full Moon Protocol provides all-natural detoxification and fights inflammation. These supplements are made with 100% organic ingredients and are proven to kill parasites safely and effectively.
To order your Full Moon Protocol, go to bravetv.store/mission to save $20 off your first order. That's bravetv.store/mission. Order Full Moon Protocol and start killing those foreign invaders that have been keeping you sick. That's bravetv.store/mission to receive $20 off your first order.